Hello and welcome to the Capitol Report on NTD television. I'm Steve Lance. Two top Republicans are demanding that the FBI turn over documents related to President Biden that a whistleblower says they have. The unnamed whistleblower claims the documents show Biden was involved in a criminal scheme while he was vice president. And NTD's Melina Wisecup has more details and reaction from senators on Capitol Hill. Melina, what exactly do these Republicans want from the FBI?
So these Republicans want something very specific from the FBI in unredacted form, all FD 1023 documents that contain the word Biden. The GOP lawmakers claim that the DOJ and FBI have documents that allege a criminal scheme between then Vice President Biden and a foreign national involving an exchange of money for policy decisions. The information came from a whistleblower that lawmakers claim is credible. Senator Chuck Grassley now saying the ball is in the FBI's court.
Had the information from credible sources of whistleblowers in the FBI, and that's the basis for it. And now it's up to the FBI to produce the information.
Grassley and Comer say it's unclear whether the DOJ or FBI ever took steps to investigate this matter. And other Republicans are expressing support for this effort. Senator Roger Marshall telling me the FBI has already discredited itself. Watch.
They don't do things just for fun or for political reasons. I think that they've investigated the situation enough to know that there is indeed something there.
Do you think them subpoenaing the FBI makes Americans not trust the agency?
You know, I think the FBI has done a significant amount of damage to their own reputation. And that being said, the rank and file FBI agents that I met are incredible people. But I am very concerned. I think America is very concerned about the top of the FBI and some of that leadership that they have become a very politicized.
Although Democrats have cast doubt on the legitimacy of the information from the whistleblower. Representative Jamie Raskin, who's a ranking Democrat on the Oversight Committee, described the GOP's investigation as a political stunt, saying it's no surprise that Comer would rely on these unverified tips to attack President Biden. But a Democrat senator I spoke with earlier had a more mild approach. Watch.
They seem to coincide with elections. Whistleblowers must be taken seriously in the country. But with that comes immense responsibility as well to conduct an honest, transparent, open conversation with the American people, getting to the bottom of things.
And this subpoena is in addition to the GOP-led ongoing investigations into the Biden family. The House Oversight Committee has revealed a deal in which the Biden family has received $1 million from a Chinese company through a third party. Reporting in Washington, D.C., Melina Wisecup, NTD News.
Now more on Tucker Carlson and Fox News. As ratings at Fox News continue to plummet, a new poll showing that overall ratings at the network have fallen 45%. How will Carlson's departure affect other commentators and journalism in general? To find out, we have retired Vanderbilt University professor Dr. Carol Swain. Dr. Carol Swain, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Dr. Swain, many on the conservative side have said Tucker Carlson was a torchbearer of sorts for the conservative movement in conservative values, often shedding light on hard to dissect, nuanced social and cultural issues. Now that that flame has been extinguished, at least for the time being, on Fox News, how big of a blow is this to the conservative movement?
You know something, I believe that all things work to the good, and that Tucker will be given a larger platform, and he will be able to reach more people because of what Fox did to him. And so I think that what seems like, such a, right now, you look at Fox News and we think, oh, that's the only, game in town. It's not the only game in town. As conservatives, we need to be reaching Democrats and independents, wider part of America. And we know that millions of people have heard Tucker's speeches. Millions of people have watched what Fox did to him. And I think that will give the conservatives a bigger platform, if nothing else.
Well, you just kind of lined up a shameless plug for us here. NTD has some big plans in the work, and you might just see another major competitor very soon to that point. And if I could just ask you, do you think that what has happened to Tucker will ultimately affect other journalists or commentators within the network there at Fox News on how they report on things? Maybe they'll think twice on speaking about certain issues now?
Not just at Fox, but anyone that works for network news. I mean, these are company men and women, the ones that thrive, the ones that you see that survive. They are the ones that will toe the company line. They are not there, to discover truth or to bring both sides. Whatever the narrative is the network wants to push, that's what they expect their host to do. And Tucker had fallen out of line. And the fact that he took such bold stances, he knew, had deep knowledge of Fox News and that he was pushing the envelope. And so I'm sure that he was not surprised when they decided they had to act. What appears to be opposition is not really conservative opposition or conservative voices. It's very controlled. And I believe Fox has been exposed, and conservatives can stop pretending that they're conservative because they have been drifting leftward ever since Obama was elected.
Why do you think Tucker Carlson was so significant or successful, if you will?
Because people are hungry for truth, and he was and is a truth speaker. And I think that he would encourage other people to follow his example. And for people my age, I want to see more young people take risks, to be brave, to speak truth. And journalism is a hard field. In fact, I know some young people that wanted to be journalists, and when they found out just how controlled they would be by their bosses and how their stories would be rewritten, to promote a particular ideological agenda, they decided that journalism wasn't for them. And I think that journalism used to be seen as a respected profession. We need to make it respectable once again. And we need people that care more about the welfare of the nation than they do about their own personal ambition. When it comes to Fox News, again, I think they have been the controlled opposition, that they have presented a viewpoint, but not necessarily the truth. And so if Fox doesn't cover an issue, there were many issues that Tucker covered that the other journalists would not touch. If Fox doesn't cover it, the New York Times doesn't cover it, CNN doesn't cover it, for the many people, it's like it didn't happen. NPR is not going to cover it. So it's more difficult for people to get information. But with Twitter now being open, that helps a lot. With NTD and with the other conservative outlets, if they stay true, not just to conservative principles, but just to truth, fairness, presenting more than one side. I don't want an echo chamber. I want a dialogue and a debate. And I think we should be moving towards a world where people can have conversations. And I think from those conversations, we're better off because when you hear other views, it makes you think, or it should make you think. And it's a mistake to push narratives that are one-sided or to have the government dictate what the people can see or hear.
Dr. Swain, if I could just get in two more quick follow-ups for you. What do you think the impacts on the 2024 election might be with Tucker's purging? And also, from what I understand, you've also faced some backlash for speaking out on certain issues by certain folks at Fox. If you want to, tell us about that situation.
Well, 2024 election, I think clearly the Democrats, the Biden administration, saw Tucker as a threat because he was exposing their corruption. He was exposing the truth about January 6th. He was poised to do an article on a story on Ray Epps, the instigator at January 6th, who faced no consequences, who seemed to have been working for the government. So they took him out. The 2024 elections, again, I think the American people are not stupid. They have a way of finding out the truth, even if it's not being presented on the media. And we still have people that have common sense.
Dr. Carol Swain, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and joining us.
Thank you.
Fragility in the banking sector causing Americans to feel insecure. If you're concerned about the safety of your money in the bank, you're not alone. According to a new Gallup poll, nearly half of Americans say they're concerned about the money they have in financial institutions. 19% say they are very worried, and another 29% say they're moderately worried. These findings are similar to 2008 when Gallup last surveyed this question during the global financial crisis. Despite a string of bank failures in recent weeks, the federal government says the banking industry overall remains strong. Thank you for watching the Capitol Report. If you want to see our full broadcast, check us out at epochtv.com.